To our Facebook knowings, I wanted to thank you all for the brilliant questions that you've sent to us. And though, of course, I can't answer all of them, I wanted you to know that I do see them all. And I'm sending you great love and the most radiant light.
Hi Chris, this is a question from Lainie Ayars Gentle, and she would like to ask about Alzheimer's. She's wondering if the crazy things that people do with Alzheimer's are a choice. Have they already left their bodies? Her grandmother had this, and she would do such silly things as running around the neighborhood without her clothes. Is there hope for people with Alzheimer's?
That's a very important question for this moment, because Alzheimer's is an epidemic now around the world. People are doing things in their bodies and saying things that are not like them. What happens with Alzheimer's, it's like little Pac-Men, and they're going around to the different parts of our brains and actually eating up the connections so that we can't link up. We can't remember a face. We just have a moment of illumination and then it dissolves. It creates great anxiety and fear. That causes people with Alzheimer's to be sometimes aggressive. The tragic thing is that very often the physical body is mostly normal, shall we say, or the body is not suffering from some great other disease, a dysfunction of the heart or the kidneys or something like that. It's only this brain that's triggering it for a long period of time until, of course, the brain has been diminished and destroyed to such a degree that the body is gone. So they're not leaving their bodies, they're actually caught, entrapped in their bodies. Otherwise, when they cannot identify who they are or who you are, they would have this opportunity to leave, to let go, to release their form, their third-dimensional form. Is it a choice? On a spiritual level, it does have purpose. We never suffer something that does not enlighten us on some way and serve as our evolution. But our evolution is not hinged on suffering or these kinds of terrible experiences. But there is something that comes from it. For example, let's just say that perhaps somebody had a theme in another incarnation of being completely caught in their mind, in their intelligence, that they saw themselves in the world and they judged the world and themselves through how intelligent they were. And they never allowed love, and they never allowed emotions. So they get Alzheimer's in this lifetime, in which they lose their brain. I have found it interesting that many of the people that I have known or heard about who have eventually had Alzheimer's have been people who indeed were brilliant teachers who used their brain a lot. And so it does trigger for me to perceive, is there an association, is there a connection, a correlation there between living in your mind, then losing your mind, and what is that doing that's going on inside you that those of us who are watching an Alzheimer's patient cannot truly comprehend. Is there hope for someone with Alzheimer's? Absolutely. But it probably won't come from the new drugs. We know, for example, that simple B12 in massive amounts, and I like the little dots that they put under your tongue, that B12 will help your brain to begin to correlate and to function better. So I recommend B12 dots for everyone, whatever your age is. So I feel we're coming to a place where we will find new ways to prevent it or to bring it back. We know that B12, that vitamin E, that coenzyme 10, all three of these have been useful in rebalancing the brain, nourishing the brain, and reversing some of the effects of Alzheimer's. We will find more things. It is also very important for those of you and those of us who are connected to someone who has Alzheimer's to clear that, to look at what it means for you, what fears it brings up for you. It's terrifying when a person realizes that their beloved parent or aunt or uncle or grandparent doesn't recognize them anymore or can't carry on a conversation. The emotional body, that child energy in you, very often will feel that theme of rejection or never been loved or separation, and so it triggers those kind of conversations in you rather than recognizing it has nothing to do with you, absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean that you are not loved. It simply means that that brain of that person cannot focus outside. So much destruction of cells and cellular memory is going on inside. So I would always recommend, actually, to the one that you know and to all the other people who are beginning Alzheimer's or are dying from Alzheimer's, bring them into your mind's eye and ask them what color they need to be supported in this process, in this healing, whether the healing ultimately results in death or improvement and coming back into their recognizable sense of self. Whatever color they ask for from you, imagine that you draw it from the cosmos down through the top of your head and you extend it to them. And that way you will feel balanced about it and you will have performed a purpose that will set you free karmically. Okay.
Chris, here's a question from Ruth Bartleet. How do we shift most easily? How do we know it's worked? And once we've shifted, can we slip back?
Hello, Ruth. The easiest way to shift, make that shift, is to explore the self on a very deep, deep level. That's the work that we do here at the Light Institute. You can do a lot for yourself through meditation, through any kind of tuning into nature, to expand your consciousness so that your awareness is not just about the treadmill of life, but about the wonderment and the mysteries of the cosmos. When you look up at a star, you are connecting to that star and its energy, and it can nourish your life. And this is what you want in order to shift, because when our awareness expands, then again, the worries that we have, or the conclusions, or the psychogenetic inheritance on emotional DNA, spiritual DNA, and physical DNA begin to shift. And we become the being that our soul has brought to this third dimension for the purpose of the evolution of the soul. So that's the way we do it, expanding your consciousness and perceiving beyond the third dimension. The way we know it's worked is that we feel differently and we begin to experience new kinds of experiences. Maybe we feel more peaceful. New people come into our life. There's an expansion of potential around us. There's an expansion in our capacity to have a holographic perception, to be aware of what's going on in many, many fields of energy around us. And that difference in who we are is how we know that we have made a shift. Can we slip back? Of course we can, but not completely, and not for as long as we always did before. You will never become the person that you used to be, because your consciousness will guide you on. It will free you from that treadmill of, oh, this is what is true and this is who I am kind of energy. And so we slip back, and then what happens is that consciousness will say, there's that theme again. And we'll move from that theme. We'll use these technologies of consciousness to lift ourselves and to quicken back so that, again, we can move on to another level. One of the things that I think is a really perfect way to shift is to spread your arms like a child and spin around clockwise till you get a little dizzy, and then look at your thumbs. Because when you spin around, you slow your brain waves, and so you can move into meditative and expansive states of awareness. You can say, what color do I need right now? By bringing light into your body, your consciousness will shift, and the fears or emotions that you experience will also shift. So we have ways. We have the way out of negativity and smallness. The shift is within our grasp. So let us all focus and embrace the power of shifting.
Because this is from Matthew Moody, and he is asking, what would you say is the most significant thing we should be putting our attention on at this moment in history for the betterment of the future of human evolution?
Hi, Matthew. You know, most people right now are putting their attention in the outside world. How am I going to survive this? I would say the most important thing to put your attention on right now is a sense that you belong here, that everything that you do and feel and say makes a difference. And so allow yourself the small stuff, which might be smiling at someone, or letting someone else come in front of you in line, or speaking a kind word to someone. These things count in terms of our own evolution. We need to address our sense of self. We need to expand our consciousness to allow us to know that though we are just a grain of sand in the great ocean of life, of the cosmos, we're an essential grain of sand. And that the only thing that matters in life is what you do with your life. At the end of your life, you will not care what anybody else did to you or what they chose. None of that will be important to you. But you will care about the way that you've lived your life. So in order to change the future, we have to participate in the present. By doing that, and by using our consciousness, we can contribute and make our life worth something. How do we do that? We have to meditate. And life is meditation. You can do it while you're driving your car. Expand and become aware. I would say that one of the important conversations is lose time. Let time work for you. Everyone, I think, has had one or more experiences in life of just stopping time. Stop time, rather than being anxious, I'm late, but just letting everything stop so that you expand your awareness. And as you do that, it's easier for you to engage, for you to participate in the world around you. So we want to take our attention off the outside part of ourselves and put the attention on the inside part of ourselves so that we can pull away the veil and see how the inside part of you is cosmic, is a part of everything that's happening on this planet. If you can't be in Wall Street or you can't stop the war someplace, you can use your consciousness to participate. And in doing so, you will feel that you are essential to today, to tomorrow, and to forever. Great love, Matthew.